The Heisman Trophy winner plays in the Big 12. And for the second season in a row, the Heisman Trophy winner plays on defense. Jacob Rodriguez of Texas Tech is not getting the national respect deserved, and he should win the Heisman. If you're a Cincinnati fan, UCF fan, maybe an Arizona fan saying, well, what do I want to listen to this for? What's the point? Dog, whether you have played him, you will play him, or you will watch him play on Sundays or that coveted Saturday, December 6th in the Big 12 championship game, Jacob Rodriguez is a story that all 16 fan bases should be rallied around. If you do not know yet, I'm not sure what rock you've been under, but if you do not know yet, this is a guy who is a quarterback in high school, goes to Virginia because he wants to play quarterback, doesn't pan out, takes a chance on himself, moves to Texas Tech, goes across the country to Texas Tech, where he is a walk-on, paying his way through Texas Tech, living on like a floor of an apartment for a semester. And now he has numbers that don't just rival Manti Te'o's. They blow them out of the water. Not only that, he has a very real girlfriend. What wife? I think Manti Te'o's was a girlfriend. Well, it wasn't. He thought it was a girlfriend. Turns out she wasn't real. This is very real. Jacob Rodriguez's wife, who flies Black Hawk helicopters for the United States military. Gambling Gauchos posts this to Twitter. Manti Te'o's first 11 games during his Heisman runner-up campaign versus Jacob Rodriguez through the first 11 games of 2025. Rodriguez should be a Heisman finalist this season. Te'o, 98 tackles. Rodriguez, 100. Te'o, 5.5 tackles for loss. Jacob Rodriguez, 9.5. Te'o's got him by half a sack and a couple interceptions. 6 for the old Notre Dame star, 4 for the Texas Tech Red Raider. But Jacob Rodriguez has forced 7 fumbles and scored 2 touchdowns this season. Manti Te'o had 0 of each. The Big 12 menace is beating out a Heisman frontrunner who finished second in tackles. He's beating him in tackles, tackles for loss, forced fumbles, fumble recoveries, touchdowns, and living loved ones. This is a travesty that the national media is not talking more about Jacob Rodriguez. 48-9 final score against UCF. Taven Jackson was 27 for 33. That's not bad. So you think if he's that accurate, the one interception must have been pretty impressive. Oh, it was. It was to Jacob Rodriguez. He's also a pivotal reason why the Knights only rushed for 52 yards on their 29 carries. That's 1.8 yards per rush. They're long on the game, 20 yards. The offense of Texas Tech didn't have to do much heavy lifting when a guy like Rodriguez, who had 9 tackles in this game, is stepping up so big. He is a generational talent in this conference. He is a generational talent in college football. And yes, coming into this season, somehow, some way, the national media didn't want to tell you about Rodriguez. They didn't know about him. They didn't want to give him any pomp and circumstance. But what he has done last season, 127 tackles, 5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and an interception. Yet coming into this year, Big 12 preseason defensive player of the year, but America, ESPN, Fox, CBS, you turn your TV on, and they don't give a rat's ass. And I do not understand how somewhere we lost in translation that a guy could be not just generational from a mystique standpoint. He's got this like Paul Bunyan thing to him with the big mustache and the wife who's a badass in the military. And he's got this urban legend vibe Cowboy had on after the game. That's one thing. But then when the numbers back it up, I don't understand how I can look at these statistics over the last 2 seasons, well over 200 tackles. Oh, that's incredible. 7 forced. His right and left arms have forced 7 fumbles this season. Do you understand how rare that is? How hard that is to do? How many teams in America wish they had forced 7 fumbles themselves? Yet for some reason, we don't want to talk to you outside of the Big 12 circles, outside of a Big 12 podcast, outside of Texas Tech, and the way that they are pumping him up. America, for some reason, does not want to talk about Jacob Rodriguez, arguably the best story this year in college football. Look, I get it. Trinidad Chambliss, Ole Miss, quarterback. Not a Heisman contender, but great story. Certainly a great story. I understand the question marks around Like a Gunnar Stockton who's playing really good football. I get Fernando Mendoza, the transfer goes to Indiana, and they're winning a lot of games. But I do not see a more consistent, a more effective, a more all-American, all-college football guy than Jacob Rodriguez, who's representing the Big 12. If he was doing this at LSU, which he would, by the way, he would have these same numbers. If he was doing this at LSU, at Ohio State, at Alabama, at Georgia, at Texas A&M, then they'd be talking about it. They'd be telling you week in and week out how good this kid is and how he's a Heisman candidate. And so what sucks about this is it goes past how the Big 12 doesn't get a lot of respect for the College Football Playoff Committee and where they rank these teams. But now we don't get a lot of respect when individual players deserve more. Like I think of Travis Hunter was not playing under Deion last year. I don't know if he gets all the hype, right? Like at some level, it's like this whole thing has become a PR scheme. This whole thing has become, oh, well, unless you play for the big name coach, unless you yourself have the sexy name, unless you yourself are playing for the team in the SEC, we won't give it to you. I think Max Duggan deserved the Heisman for very similar reasons to Jacob Rodriguez and had the stats to do it. I hear more about Torian York, the Texas A&M kid who was originally committed to Baylor and then bolted to go to A&M. 74 tackles. Not even close. Not even close. One forced fumble. Not even close. It just doesn't. He does not have the pedigree of what Jacob Rodriguez is. But I hear more nationally on ESPN about Torian York, who leads Texas A&M. Why? Because at some piece of this, at some piece of the road, at a juncture, we all decided the Big 12 didn't matter as much. And even if a player is putting up generational numbers, better than Manti Te'o, who at this point in the year for Notre Dame was the talk of college football. Can he win the Heisman? Will he win the Heisman? And Rodriguez is not in the top 10 in Heisman odds. I'd go put $10 on it right now. That's like 10 to win 500. It's pretty good use of $10 if you ask me. Hopefully you can call your local congressman, call a senator. I don't know how much they do anyway. But you can give them a ring and at least try. Tell them Jacob Rodriguez deserves the Heisman, and they should do all in their power to make sure that it happens. Coming up, BYU, Utah. Did they take care of business? Are they doing enough? Locked on Big 12. Today's show is brought to you by Game Time. Game Time is exactly where I go when I want to go see Jacob Rodriguez play at a college football game. I say, boop, boop, boop. Find those tickets. And with Game Time, I can do my favorite part of it is the zone deal. You pick the section, Game Time picks the seats, you save big. Pull up Game Time, couple taps, see amazing deals talking as low as $25 for your favorite college football games. It's why I use Game Time. It's the most user-friendly, in my opinion, the most user-friendly ticket service available. Take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, promo code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time. Do it today. It's Game Time.